Okay for you.
Howdy, everybody.
Tony and Chris back for another TigerSox
Hi,
review
Dr.
for the
Nick.
Blue Collar Beer Gourmet.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Dr.
I
Nick.
can never do that good at Dr. Nick. Tony's the one who does the impressions, honestly. For every impression that I have, he's got about 50 that he can pull out.
So send me audio of your voice, and the next review, I'll do it for you.
Actually, Tony can do your outgoing message in whatever character you choose.
Well, thank you for that. That's a nice compliment.
But it's entirely true. It's entirely true. The
Welcome.
only person I know who can do McVickers from Beavis and Butthead. See, spot on. Spot on.
Your boys. There, I'll just do that.
Spot on.
Okay.
Well, as I'm sure it comes as no surprise to anybody who regularly watches this channel, today's selection came to us from our beer center in Indiana.
That can't be true.
Thank you, Mr. Gone V6.
I don't believe it.
And what's more, we've got more coming. Okay, this is just the first of what we've got 4 more of his beers left. So yeah. And
although a couple I think are from Wisconsin, but you get the gist.
Yeah, they're not Hoosier beers, but still,
Right.
they're from our man in Indiana. So in fact, I'm not sure
Chris L.
where today's beer actually hails from. I think I do know. I remember it's a Wisconsin beer. A little more specific.
Zero in on the city for you, nice people. Crap. You know, other than what's on the label as far as like your elementary stuff, I do not see a city name.
Well, it is a Wisconsin beer. That much I know.
Just take our word for
it. It won the 2015 GABF Gold American Wheat Beer with Yeast Award.
Yes,
So,
a gold medal winner.
Only 3 years ago, it won this award. American wheat beer with yeast. That's the distinction, because American wheat beers are not known for being particularly yeasty. That's more of a German characteristic. Also, American wheat beers have more of a hop content. Anytime, I swear, when I've been looking at Beer Judge certification programming guidelines, anytime you make the transition from this country to an American version of it, what you do is you increase the hops. I don't give a damn if there's such a thing as let's say hypothetically a Kenyan stout. I promise you, in order to make an American version of the Kenyan stout, you have to add hops. I mean, it's everything, and that includes the American wheat beer.
Kenyan stout.
This is listed on Untapped as a pale wheat ale. It's listed on Beer Advocate as a blonde ale. The ABV does come in at 4.6, and I don't know whether it's on the bottle or not.
Let's see. God, what else are they going to leave off this bottle here?
You know, I don't think we've actually shown them the beer yet.
I have not shown the beer yet. I'm being playful.
I see. We're being elusive. We're going to describe the beer in great detail. 4.6 is the ABV, which I got off of their website. Okay, you lose points for it.
Lost points.
You guys lost points for it, and
we'll tell you who in just a second.
Exactly.
It's awesome points.
On Untapped, 4 of my friends have given this a cumulative score of 3.50. Just, let's see, 7,772 of us have given it a score of 3.43. Beer Advocate's cumulative score of 119 rankings is 3.29. A 3.29 on Beer Advocate scale is simply okay. So that's one step below good. It was first listed on Beer Advocate
it won a gold medal.
on the 11th of May, 2008. So about 10 years ago. This is when it was first put on, and yet it still hasn't racked up a full 120 reviews on Beer Advocate.
Wow.
Or a full 8,000 in Untapped. So
you'd think it would spike after winning the gold medal in 2015. Like there might be.
You would think. And the thing about American wheat beer, Widmar popularized these in the 1980s. They were the ones who first started introducing wheat beer to the general market. But a wheat beer can be anywhere from pale to gold. It can be anywhere from brilliant to hazy. Those who watched very recently my blonde ale, which one was that? I have to look. The Shiner Golden Ale. Blonde ales and wheat ales both are a case of it can either be this extreme or that extreme. Either one is okay. And usually for a pale wheat ale, an American wheat ale, the ABV comes in at 4.0 to 5.5. This comes in at 4.6% ABV according to the website, which is not on the bottle.
It's not on the bottle.
And usually they come in at 15 to 30 IBUs. Even the brewery's website does not list the IBUs for this beer. So, now that we've gone over it, for almost 5 minutes now, discussing the beer, shall we show it to them?
Boing!
Bing, bing, bing!
Okay, so we got Oso Brewing Company. It is spelled letter O, apostrophe, S-O. And that is all. And there it is right there with the
And,
Wisconsin State
As
image.
bad as my Spanish is, I do know that that means bear in Spanish.
Well, it's the big bear.
And there's plenty of bears in Wisconsin, that's for sure.
The Big O, everybody.
The Big O.
So yeah, there's no ABV on here, and I've even checked the cap. The cap is one of these, we're not doing much with our cap. Here's a black cap for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I checked the bottom of the bottle just in case there was a little surprise down there. There is not. They did manage to put on the beer festival logo right there because, that is something to be proud of.
It is.
But at the same time, you did not put your ABV on here, so that's just bizarre to me that they went, hey, let's put our
everything else on here except the ABV and where we are.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't say.
Yeah,
I mean,
like, hey,
it's somewhere in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a big state.
Right.
I came from Middle America.
Loaded with breweries.
And that's the other thing too. I mean, my God.
I was hoping I would see it in the small writing, but it's just a Surgeon General thing. I mean, it's like, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah. Don't operate heavy machinery while you're pregnant. While you're trying to get somebody pregnant.
Don't play Twister naked while drinking.
Don't whiz on the electric
Don't whiz on the electric fence. Exactly.
Very important.
Surgeon General says. Survey says. All right, one more image here.
And because it is a gift from
here.
It's not in the orange. Yeah,
it
has an
orange is definitely coming out. Of course, the wheatiness is it's like a bowl of cereal. That wheat. What was that cereal? The shredded wheat.
Shredded wheat.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting a grainy cereal-y.
And I would hope with an American wheat, that it should come.
American wheat, get away from me. New glass, everybody. Love Lady is nearby. They are in Henderson, so if I hopped in the car right now, I could be there in 20 minutes. And there's some good people out there. They are very, very cool guys. They're very charitable too. They do a lot of
very philanthropic brewers.
Yes, they do a lot for the community, and they're relatively new. I think they've only been open 2.5 years, maybe.
And they are about as mom and pop as you can get. I mean, everybody.
Really cool place.
Everybody you're going to meet who's working behind the counter has the last name Love Lady.
Yeah.
So
that is their name. They are using their surname. So that's anyway, pretty cool logo too. I own a T-shirt and now I own a glass. So
they've been around what, about 3?
I'd say under 3 actually. I want to say closer to 2.5 too. But no more than 3. I really don't think they've been more than 2. So let's pour it into our Love Lady glass and hand this off to Mr. Rouse here. Nice and a little festive sea of bubbles here.
Thanks, Cameron.
Looks like
you guys are seeing very close to the color of this beer actually on the camera.
Yeah, that's pretty true to form. Yeah.
Lots of carbonation. A little more carbonation than I was actually
expecting
for a wheat beer. But
yeah, for sure.
Slightly hazy. I can see through, but not clearly. It's not brilliant, but at the same time, it's not
a little murky. But
murky actually is a better word than hazy.
Definitely not completely transparent or anything.
Plenty of carbonation though, and as you can see, that head is not resilient at all. It's already gone.
Yeah, faded away.
So we ain't got no lacing. Of course, it came in under 5% ABV, so usually you don't get much lacing when you don't even have a 5%. There's not enough sugar in it.
Got an Odell brewing glass for me to drink out of.
Which is very recently made their claim here in Vegas. So we're glad to have Odell.
Yeah,
definitely. Tony and I recently went to the Lee's Beer Experience.
Yes,
and
that was fun.
Got to try a few Odell beers. And I got to say, I'm glad to see them. I never had their beers before, but I was liking them.
And Tenaya Creek's featured them a few times as well. They've had guest taps from Odell over the months that they've been around, and overall, I seem to like their beer. I can't really say anything other than praise for the beer. So,
but haven't had too much of it. This smells exactly like a Hefeweizen to me.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's because of the orange, the presence of the orange.
No, I'm not getting the clove phenols. Well, actually, I am kind of.
Hold it, chirping down, please.
Not quite the rubber bandiness that I sometimes get with Hefeweizen, but yeah, I am getting clove and banana phenols, neither of which should appear in an American wheat.
A little bit of spice.
If you look in BJCP, but this is an American wheat with yeast, so that may change things too. American wheat with yeast is not specific to the BJCP certification. Rules.
Slicing that a little bit. All right. Yeah. Mine's a little murkier than yours. And I got the bottom half.
You get the bottom half, so you get a little sediment. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Chris. Hell.
Okay.
I get a little lemon almost immediately, like lemon zest. I'm getting some lemon zest, like hello, like pretty quick. Tad of orange, like a faint citrus element to it.
I'm getting the orange. I'm getting like a spice profile that what you'd expect of a Hefeweizen. Like I'm tasting a little bit of the cardamom back there. I'm definitely getting a clove, and even a little bit of the banana,
now, but not on the nose.
Yeah, and I'm getting a little of the banana even on the tongue.
I would say it's pretty crisp. I think the carbonation makes it more of a soda-like feel in your mouth a little bit. But I'm not really like floored or anything.
I'm not crazy about it.
I think it's kind of bland. The flavors that are there feel saturated. They feel like they're overly watered down.
Yeah.
Not
exactly.
extremely watered down, but it just seems like the flavors, we can taste the flavors, we can detect the flavor, but it also feels like there's been some water thrown in here somewhere.
Yeah, it's like somebody tasted it and like, there's too much flavor in that. Let's throw another, I don't know, 6 gallons of water in. A
couple ice cubes in there to weaken it somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hate it though. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, but
yeah, I'll be right there.
I'm thinking.
Someone's honking.
I think in 2.75 is plenty for this, and without the ABV, it's now down to 2.5.
The ABV not being on there is just such a thing with me. I hate to be. I really hate.
Me too, but
I have
it's irresponsible. You know, it just is.
Yeah.
It just is.
It's a total pet peeve.
If you think before you drink, and you're a responsible drinker, one of the things you do want to check is the ABV before. You know, you don't drink 6 barley wines and then go, I'm fine. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
The same way you can drink 6 session IPAs and be fine.
Well, that's kind of what's ironic is the campaigns that all these companies run, like, please don't drink and drive. There are other ways to get home. You could always get a taxi. You can get an Uber. You can get a Lyft. All of that starts with where am I at? How much beer am I going to drink? And what strength is the beer?
Exactly.
If you don't know, it's almost, you're at a handicap. I mean, I don't want to make excuses for like, oh, I drank it because I didn't know the ABV. That's stupid, obviously. But to say like, oh, I had 2 or 3 big O's from osobrewing, and people might look at you and go, oh, you must be jacked up. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know what the ABV. Put the GABF award on it, but you can't put the ABV.
Exactly. Like they were quick to put, and I'm a little surprised this won gold. I mean, I'm with all the competition out there.
But see, I gotta wonder how many entries there were for American wheat with yeast.
That's true. I know that sometimes, like those catalogs that show you like each category and all the participants in said category.
Yeah, and the subcategories.
Sometimes it's flooded with
the subcategories.
Exactly.
And
so not trying to belittle the guys at Oso, but we don't know. We could always research it, but how many competitors were in this category with them? I don't hate it. Like I said, I just think it's a little too watery for me. The wheat isn't really jumping out. Like at first I get the lemon zest and then everything just kind of dissipates from there. So
if you're a Hefeweizen fan, this might be a light hef that you would enjoy. Like if you're going to sit down and drink a low ABV, well, hefs are not usually that high in ABV anyway, but if you're looking for a particularly light hef, right? I mean, if hefs are, when you go to your refrigerator, there's like 6 or 7 varieties of hef. I would say this would be a good one to have for your light one. When you just, you just want a beer, but you're not really looking to, feel much of anything or get any sort of buzz. But
and I'm down to my last swallow here, and I had the sentiment, and this should be where I'm getting the majority of the flavor, and I'm still not getting it. We got 1 minute left.
We do.
1 minute left. So, I can't score it real high. I think 2.75 sounds about right for me.
That's what I would have given it, and except it gets a 2.5 because of the missing ABV.
But thanks, Chris. I mean, how would we know? How would we know unless we got to drink it, right? So real quick in the closing 40 seconds, best record in base. It's the TigerSox series. We always do this. Tigers are like 7 games below 500, and they suck. But yeah, best record, man.
And by the time you guys watch this, they have won the Stanley Cup. So although
when is this going on?
This will be I think like sometime in like late June. So yeah.
So go Knights.
Cup will already be won.
Game 1 is tomorrow, the Stanley Cup final.
Until next time, drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing it. And thank you, Chris.
Bye.
Cheers, everybody.
See ya.